Have you ever wondered what makes some people grow and learn from their mistakes while others stay stuck, repeating the same errors over and over again? Do you feel overwhelmed by the challenges life throws at you? Or do you sometimes think of yourself as weak? What if I told you that the experiences that feel toughest now could be turned into powerful lessons that would make you stronger? Imagine how your life could change if you approached setbacks with the confidence that, no matter what, there's always something to learn and use for your future success. In the book, Sometimes You Win, Sometimes You Learn, John C. Maxwell explores the mindset of winners, the people who don't let failure stop them. Instead, they learn from every situation and grow stronger. Maxwell delves into how these winners think, feel, and act. By understanding this mindset, you can gain essential skills to turn any challenge into an opportunity for self-improvement. This book will help you step out of your comfort zone and face life's new adventures with courage. Even when you stumble or fail, you'll learn to accept your imperfections and find valuable lessons in every mistake. In doing so, you can start to feel like a winner, even in the face of defeat. Life is full of obstacles, and no one is immune to failure. But how we handle failure makes all the difference. Join us on this journey as we explore how to turn every challenging situation into an opportunity and adopt a winner's mindset to achieve success. Stay with us until the end and discover how you can transform setbacks into stepping stones toward a more successful and fulfilling life. The pain of loss. How you perceive it shapes your mindset when you're losing. Everything can feel overwhelming. The pain of failure is real, and how you perceive your losses determines your mentality. You can either develop a mindset geared toward success or one that is prone to failure. Most people dislike discussing their failures because it highlights their weaknesses. They strive for success and new experiences, but are also mentally prepared for failure. When they do fail, they quickly move on to something else, trying to escape the discomfort. However, successful people think differently. They don't run from their failures or view them as the end. Instead, they see failures as opportunities to learn something new. They understand that in reality, we learn the most from our mistakes, and they are always looking for the lesson that each setback offers. Many people feel bad about failure because they believe it means they can no longer make progress or that they've lost their chance. This negative view of failure can make it seem like a full stop, as if there's no way forward. An article in Leadership magazine mentioned that people who constantly chase success and cannot tolerate failure often end up facing severe emotional consequences. They may fall into depression, turn to alcohol, or in extreme cases, consider suicide. The pressure to be perfect becomes unbearable, and the inability to handle failure pushes them to the brink. But it's crucial to remember that we are human, not superhuman. Failure is just a part of life, nothing more. Making mistakes can change a person, and often this change is positive. However, sometimes it can trap a person in fear and hesitation. It's all about perspective. How you choose to see your failures can affect you either positively or negatively. If you let your weaknesses and fears dominate you, you'll feel like a person trapped in a box, unable to do anything. But if you decide to learn and improve from your mistakes, you can turn those failures into victories. Take John C. Maxwell himself, for example. As the author of the book, Maxwell has had his fair share of mistakes. One unforgettable mistake occurred when he was carrying a gun in his briefcase. Once, while giving a speech at a church in Birmingham, Alabama, his friend Chris gifted him a gun for his wife's safety while he was traveling. John wasn't a fan of guns, but he accepted it to please his friend. He placed the gun in his briefcase, flew home on a private plane, and completely forgot about it. A few days later, John was preparing for another public speaking event and unknowingly still had the gun in his briefcase. When he passed through the airport's metal detector, he suddenly remembered the gun. Before security could find it, John announced he had a gun in his briefcase. Since he was a well-known figure, the airport staff recognized him. The security personnel apologized for having to handcuff him, saying they were just following standard procedure. John was fortunate to be released quickly on bail, and the incident was removed from his record. When the news went public, John posted a humorous comment on his Twitter account, diffusing the situation with laughter. He was lucky that everyone took it as a funny experience. Some even suggested he write his next book about airport security or carrying a gun. After the experience, John placed a note in his briefcase that read, "Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn." If John had viewed this incident negatively, it could have ruined his career. But he chose to learn from his mistake, forget it, and move forward. Taking responsibility. The first step of learning responsibility is the first step of learning. Many people think they're only responsible for the tasks others assign to them, but they forget that taking responsibility is a decision that can change their entire life. Once you decide to take responsibility, it means you are ready to take action. If you make a mistake, you have two choices: either blame someone else or take responsibility for yourself. The choice you make will determine what you gain from your failure. If you take responsibility, it means you are learning and growing. If you avoid responsibility for a long time, you will eventually develop a habit of playing the victim. Many people live with this victim mentality and present themselves as helpless, believing they can't succeed because of external factors like the economy, traumatic childhood experiences, or discrimination. They blame society or circumstances for everything they can't achieve. But by blaming others for your bad situations, you're handing over control of your life to them. If you don't take responsibility for your actions, external factors will start controlling your life. Avoiding responsibility also means missing out on opportunities to learn and grow. To be successful, you need to learn and be flexible. If you're afraid of making mistakes and learning from them, you will never improve. Consider the story of Ted Williams, a homeless man who lived by begging on the streets. One day, his life changed when a man recorded an old video of him demonstrating incredible skills as a radio announcer. The video showed Ted's amazing speaking ability and unique style, which once made him popular on the radio. When the video went viral on YouTube, Ted was invited to appear on shows like The Today Show, Entertainment Tonight, and Dear Phil. Many called it Ted's luck, but his story reveals a deeper truth. Ted loved listening to the radio since childhood. He practiced imitating radio announcers for hours. His friends suggested he join the Army as a communication specialist, but since Ted couldn't type, he became a mechanic. Disliking the job, Ted turned to alcohol and gradually became addicted. He lost control of his behavior and was discharged from the Army. Later, Ted worked at a radio station and got married. However, his addiction to alcohol and drugs led him to lose his job and his marriage. He became homeless, surviving by begging. After his video went viral, Ted sought help from Dr. Phil, stayed in rehab, and overcame his addiction. Ted's story teaches us that you can control your future by taking responsibility for your life. You can shape it however you want. If you have a goal, you can achieve it even if it takes years. You just need to stay determined and be patient. Self-improvement. The key to learning improvement starts with working on yourself. Success cannot be achieved without self-growth. When you step out of your comfort zone and try something different, you acquire new skills and gain new experiences. This builds your courage to take risks. Improvement takes time. Most people give up, not because they don't know how to be successful, but because they lose focus. They expect a sudden, significant change in their lives. But real improvement comes from taking small, consistent steps forward. The first step is to make a conscious decision that there is room for improvement within yourself. The second step is to choose an area to focus on. This area should be the most important for achieving your purpose and goals. Focus on improving this one area of your life every day. Walter Cronkite, a legendary news anchor, learned this the hard way. During his first football broadcast, He was unprepared and didn't even know the players' names. The experience was a disaster, but it taught him an invaluable lesson. Preparation is the key to success. After that, Walter worked hard to improve, and over time, he became one of the most respected figures in journalism. The power of hope. Motivation for learning hope is the source of motivation that we all need during tough times. It gives you the strength to persevere when you feel exhausted. Hope pushes you beyond your limits and motivates you to overcome difficulties. Without hope, you cannot set goals or plan for the future. A person can survive without food or water for a while, but without hope, they may not be able to take even a single step. Maintaining hope in your life is a choice. When you change your thinking and expect positive results from life, you'll find the energy to keep going. Jim Abbott, a professional baseball player born without a left hand, is a perfect example of how hope can lead to incredible achievements. Despite his physical challenges, Jim never gave up on his dreams. He used his disability as motivation to push himself harder, and his efforts paid off. Jim became a major league pitcher and even threw a no-hitter game, a rare and extraordinary achievement in baseball. No matter how tough life gets, remember that by staying hopeful, taking responsibility for your actions, and learning from your mistakes, you can turn any setback into a victory. When Jim was a child, he enjoyed playing outdoor sports with the other kids in his neighborhood. However, not every day was easy for him. Sometimes Jim would come home feeling upset because he couldn't play as well as the other children. He would tell his parents that he wasn't as fast or skilled as the others, or that the other kids teased or bullied him. These experiences were hard for Jim, and they could have made him want to quit. However, his parents didn't allow him to give up. Instead, they always encouraged him to keep playing and going outside. They believed that every challenge was a chance for Jim to grow stronger. Jim's parents were incredibly supportive, always telling him that he had the ability to improve if he just kept trying. Even when things were tough, they gave him the confidence to keep moving forward. They didn't let him feel defeated, no matter how many times he struggled. They taught Jim that the most important thing was to keep working on getting better, and that every difficulty was just another step on the way to success. As Jim got older, their advice began to pay off. By the time he reached high school, Jim had set a big goal for himself. He wanted to become a professional baseball player. He knew it wouldn't be easy, but he had learned from his parents that with determination and hard work, anything was possible. Jim worked hard, practicing baseball every day, and it didn't take long for his efforts to be noticed. He played baseball for his high school team and performed so well that he caught the attention of college scouts. Eventually, Jim earned a spot on the University of Michigan's baseball team, which was a huge accomplishment. He had gone from being a boy who struggled with sports to playing at a high level for a major university. His success didn't stop there. Jim became an inspiration to many other kids, especially those who faced the same struggles he once did. Young athletes would write him letters, meet him after games, and smile at him, hoping to follow in his footsteps. Jim always took the time to talk to them, share his story, and remind them that improvement was the key to success, not winning every game. He understood that victory and defeat were both part of the journey, but giving up was never an option. Jim's parents had always emphasized the importance of improvement, and Jim never forgot this lesson. Whether he won or lost, he knew that what mattered most was learning from the experience and getting better. Jim's story shows how important it is to keep hope alive, even when things seem difficult. With hope, he believed you could push through obstacles, improve yourself, and eventually find success. And once you achieve success, you can become a source of hope and inspiration for others. Jim's journey also illustrates a deeper truth about life. Problems are not just challenges, they are opportunities to learn. Everyone, even the most successful people, faces problems. Sometimes, when we see someone who has achieved great things, we assume they had it easy or that they were lucky. But in reality, many successful people face even bigger challenges than we do. What sets them apart is not the absence of problems, but how they handle them. They learn from their difficulties and use them as stepping stones toward their goals. Problems are a part of life that no one can avoid. Everyone will face challenges at some point, and how we deal with them will determine whether we succeed or fail. You can either choose to face your problems head-on, looking for solutions, or you can give up. But giving up never solves anything. Problems come in all shapes and sizes, and it's important not to underestimate any problem, no matter how small it may seem. Sometimes, when we ignore or underestimate a problem, we only find temporary solutions, and the problem keeps coming back until we deal with it properly. It's crucial to remember that no matter how big your problem is, you have the power to overcome it. There are always steps you can take to solve any issue. First, you should always expect that problems will come up. This doesn't mean you should live in fear, but it helps to be prepared. If you expect challenges, you'll be more flexible and won't get as nervous when a problem arises. Second, don't try to solve problems alone. Including others in the problem-solving process can be very helpful. Sometimes, someone else might have the perspective or idea that you're missing. For example, when John, a church leader in California, faced a major problem, he didn't handle it alone. John's church was located in a bad area, and the building was small and old. He suggested moving the church to a new location, but at first, the members weren't willing to go along with his idea. Over time, however, they agreed. Since John had experience building churches before, he thought it would be easy. But he quickly discovered that this new project was going to be much harder than he anticipated. The first big problem John faced was financial. The church needed $2 million to buy the land he wanted. Somehow, this issue was resolved, but new problems kept appearing. The church had to deal with environmental regulations, which delayed their plans. The environmental department found that several species of birds in the area were endangered, so John had to wait for 6 months for the bird breeding period to end before construction could begin. Even after that, the problems continued. The government announced that they were planning to build a road through the same area, so the church had to relocate once again. Then, during construction, they found a black stone on the property, which turned out to be a historical artifact from the people who lived there 2,000 years ago. John had to pay a large amount of money for archaeologists to excavate the site. The obstacles didn't stop there. Many more issues came up, and it took 12 years for the church to finally get approval from the county board. By the time the construction began, John had already stepped down from his role as the church leader. Even after he left, more problems surfaced, but the church eventually completed the project after 17 years of patience, hard work, and determination. This story shows that any new endeavor can face many difficulties, but you can achieve success if you know how to handle problems. Looking for shortcuts or easy success rarely works. Facing your problems and solving them one by one is the only way to overcome challenges and become successful. Every difficulty is a chance to learn, grow, and improve. Bad experiences are also opportunities for learning. When life puts us in difficult situations, it's easy to feel helpless. Negative emotions can cloud our judgment, making it hard to think clearly or find a solution. But it's important to remember that bad experiences aren't always bad. They often come to teach us something valuable. Mistakes are a natural part of life, and if we take life too seriously, we might miss out on learning from them. When you're trying to solve a problem, it's important to keep a positive attitude. Staying calm helps you see the situation clearly and find realistic solutions. Laughing at your mistakes can also help you feel more relaxed and ready to tackle the issue. Don't see yourself as a failure just because things go wrong. Instead, think of mistakes as learning opportunities. Solutions will only appear when you approach problems with a cool head and a willingness to learn. Great inventors, for example, never saw their mistakes as failures. They treated each mistake as part of the experiment. They made many mistakes, but never gave up because their focus was on achieving success. Like these inventors, you will encounter two types of people in life: splatters and bouncers. Splatters are people who stay down after falling, while bouncers are those who pick themselves up and keep going after a failure. You have to decide which type of person you want to be. When you fail, it's usually due to a lack of knowledge or experience. But if you're willing to learn and improve, even failures can be valuable. Every failure is just another chance to learn something new. If you work hard and keep trying, you can change your life and turn bad experiences into good ones. In life, winning isn't everything, but learning is. Every challenge, whether big or small, is an opportunity to grow. By keeping hope alive, learning from your mistakes, and never giving up, you can overcome any difficulty and achieve success. Many people want to achieve success without putting in the effort to learn. They often look for shortcuts, hoping to get to victory as quickly as possible, skipping the important steps along the way. This desire for quick success often leads them to overlook the learning process, which is essential for lasting achievement. The reality is that learning and growth are what build the foundation for true success. Without them, any victory is likely to be short-lived. People who manage to achieve easy success often find themselves stuck in the long run. Because they didn't invest in the process of learning, they don't develop the skills, knowledge, and resilience needed to grow beyond their initial achievements. As a result, they stop challenging themselves and become content with what they have accomplished. Instead of setting bigger, bolder goals, they settle for less. This mindset can become a major barrier to further growth. When people stop striving for improvement, they lose the drive to discover new things, and this leads to stagnation. It's easy to understand why someone might be tempted to take a break after reaching a milestone. Achieving success feels good, and it's natural to want to pause and enjoy the fruits of your hard work. However, resting on your laurels can be dangerous. The journey doesn't end after just one victory. In fact, that first success should fuel your desire to keep moving forward and set even bigger goals. The energy you gain from winning should propel you to aim even higher, not make you feel like you've reached the end of your journey. Unfortunately, some people fall into the trap of focusing more on maintaining their self-image as a winner than on continuing to grow. They are so worried about losing their previous success that they stop taking risks, stop learning, and stop trying new things. Their fear of failure becomes stronger than their desire to achieve new goals. This is a mindset that can prevent even the most successful people from reaching their full potential. Your hunger for victory should never fade, and you should always be ready to push yourself to new heights. Several years ago, leadership expert John C. Maxwell met Jim Collins, the author of the popular books Good to Great and How the Mighty Fall, in Texas. Over dinner, Jim shared some important insights on leadership, particularly the dangers of becoming complacent. At that time, the economy was doing well and the unemployment rate was low. Many people were thriving, and it seemed like success was within reach for many. However, Jim warned about the risks of feeling too satisfied with one's achievements. When people get too comfortable after achieving something big, they often stop striving for more. This complacency can be dangerous because it halts personal and professional growth. This idea of complacency is something Bill Gates has also spoken about. Gates, the co-founder of Microsoft, believes that success is a lousy teacher. When people become successful, they often assume that they've reached the top and will never fail. They may feel like they've learned everything they need to know and no longer see the value in continuing to grow and develop. This mindset is a major barrier to long-term success because it prevents people from staying curious, innovative, and open to new ideas. This is why many lottery winners, for example, often end up losing all their money. Winning the lottery is a type of success, but it's not necessarily earned through hard work and learning. Because these individuals didn't develop the mindset and habits necessary to manage wealth, they often spend their winnings recklessly. Without the right mindset, success is fragile, and it can slip away as quickly as it came. True success is not just about acquiring something, whether it's money, fame, or power. It's about cultivating the right mindset, one that values learning and growth. You can only continue to learn and grow if you're willing to change the way you think. Many people fall into the trap of assuming they know everything once they've achieved success, but that's a mistake. No matter how much you've accomplished, there is always something new to learn. The world is constantly changing, and if you don't keep learning and adapting, you risk falling behind. There is no limit to learning and continuous improvement is essential for long-term success. By maintaining a positive mental attitude, you can break through the boundaries that hold back your potential and achieve things you never thought possible. Creative thinking and a willingness to step outside of your comfort zone are also key to progress. To move forward in life, you have to be willing to accept that you won't always win. You will lose some battles along the way, and that's okay. Failure is an important part of the learning process. Each time you fail, you have the opportunity to reflect on what went wrong, make adjustments, and come back stronger. Failure doesn't mean you should give up. It means you should learn and improve. However, this doesn't mean you should take unnecessary risks. You can manage your risks by focusing on areas where you have strength and expertise. By working on developing the skills you excel at, you can step outside your comfort zone in a controlled way and create something extraordinary. Even if you do fail, don't let it dishearten you. Failure is not the end of the road, it's a stepping stone to success. Every failure provides valuable lessons that you can use to improve in the future. The more risks you take in areas where you feel confident, the greater your chances of winning become. You need to find your own personal Mount Everest, the ultimate goal that you are striving to reach. Without such a goal, you may find yourself wandering aimlessly through life, never achieving the level of success you're capable of. Setting and working toward big, challenging goals gives your life direction and purpose. If you don't set ambitious goals for yourself, you may end up feeling regret and disappointment later in life. Regret can be one of the most painful emotions to live with because it's a reminder of missed opportunities. On the other hand, if you approach life with a mindset of growth and learning, every challenge you face will become an opportunity to improve and move closer to your goals. In conclusion, not all bad experiences are negative. The way you interpret and learn from those experiences is what matters most. If you change the way you approach challenges, everything in your life will begin to fall into place. John C. Maxwell, a well-known leader and public speaker, teaches us many important lessons about winning and losing in his book, Sometimes You Win, Sometimes You Learn. First, he explains that losing is always painful, no matter how positive or negative your mindset is. Failure hurts at first, but it's important to stay strong and not let your fears control you. Everyone fails at some point, but it's how you respond to failure that determines your future success. If you let failure defeat you, you'll never reach your full potential. But if you learn from it, you'll come back stronger and more prepared for the next challenge. Second, Maxwell highlights that many people fail to learn from their failures because their ego and pride get in the way. To truly learn, you need to be humble and open to feedback. If you're too proud to admit your mistakes, you'll never grow. Humility is the key to personal and professional development. Third, avoiding responsibility is a negative habit that can hold you back. When you live with a victim mindset, blaming external factors for your failures, you give up control over your own life. Taking responsibility for your decisions and actions is the only way to become a true winner. When you own your mistakes and learn from them, you become stronger and more capable of achieving your goals. Fourth, Maxwell emphasizes the importance of self-growth. You are the master of your own life, and working hard to improve yourself is the secret to continuous learning. Developing positive habits, staying curious, and always looking for ways to grow are essential to long-term success. Fifth, staying motivated requires keeping hope alive. If you maintain a positive attitude, you can face any challenge with confidence. Hope gives you the strength to keep going, even when things get tough. It helps you see problems as opportunities for improvement, rather than obstacles that hold you back. Finally, Maxwell teaches us that winning can sometimes be detrimental. Success can make you overconfident, which can prevent you from continuing to learn. Achieving success is not enough. You must always be ready to learn new skills, think creatively, and try new experiences. Failure, in many ways, is the best teacher in life. It's only after failing that we truly understand what we need to improve and which mistakes to avoid repeating. So, the next time you fail, don't be discouraged. Smile, learn from your mistakes, and try again. Each failure brings you one step closer to success. Always remember, challenges are what make you incredibly strong, and the pursuit of growth and learning should never end. Thank you for listening to this audiobook summary of Sometimes You Win, Sometimes You Learn by John C. Maxwell. If you found these insights valuable, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more summaries of inspiring books. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. We appreciate your support and look forward to bringing you more summaries of books that can inspire growth, success, and lifelong learning.